have an interesting topic, but we also have a very interesting speaker. Allow me to introduce to you our presenter for the day, Ms. Rishmita Kakal. Ms. Kakal has completed her master's degree in counseling psychology. She is the founder of Learning Psychology, where she trains counselors through workshops and conducts self-growth programs to different people across India. She has her own clinic set up at Andheri West in Mumbai, where she practices. She has worked with more than 500 people so far, and everyone has benefited enormously through her. And what excited us today to get her on board is the expertise which she brings on the table. And with a very interesting topic, which I would only like her to reveal and what she's going to cover, I'm going to hand it over to her without wasting other time. Over to you, Ms. Rashmita Kakal. Welcome on board for this series of Rap Talks.
Thank you so much, Prashant. It's my great pleasure to be here. And thank you everyone for joining in. And I hope by the end of the session, everyone is able to take back something today that benefits them in their life. And that's going to be one of my intentions for the day. So without further ado, so I'm going to share my screen here. I hope everyone can see it.
Yes, we can. And for all the participants, should you wish to ask any questions, feel free to ask us a question. There's a bubble at the bottom of the your Zoom window, which has got Q&A. You can put in your questions out there. Miss Kakal will either try to answer it live or she'll probably answer it at the end of the session. So stay back and enjoy. Welcome everyone who's joining in again. Over to you, Miss Kakal.
Thank you so much. So, hi, my name is Rishmita Kakal, and I'm a counseling psychologist, and I am also a psychology teacher. So, I love my work. I love the actual work that we do is fun because at the end of the day, it might take a lot of patience. But when we look back after 3, 6 months, or after a year, it brings immense pleasure that it did make a difference in one person's life. And we believe in the ripple effect. It's like when one person is disturbed, the whole family is disturbed. But at the same time, if that one person takes charge of his life to bring a change in his life, we see the difference in other people of their own family as well and their friends as well. So today I am here to talk about managing subjective well-being. So you must have heard about workplace stress and all that, but right now, given we are in the lockdown, today we have to take care of ourselves. Today we have to be certain of taking care of the house, taking care of how clean the house is, how the maid not being here, and the kind of pressure of work that is there with us. Still, how will we able to manage ourselves? This is what I'm majorly going to talk about. And like Prashant said, feel free to ask, and I will try to give my best in answering and responding to you all. All right. So, what I thought today to talk about is, of course, the relationship between workplace and mental health. Okay, that's something that is very important. Next is I'm going to talk about the power of thoughts, how thoughts play a role in our behavior. That's what I'm going to focus on. How to overcome negative thinking. So there are many techniques, but I'm going to share one of the techniques that has worked for me. How to be powerful in life, that's something I'm going to talk about. Importance of writing down. And I would like a 5 minute session of relaxing for y'all to see how y'all can do that in everyday life for your own subjective well-being. So before I go ahead, so breaking down the topic, the heading that is there is subjective well-being is every person has their own way of coping to things. So I am someone, if I am feeling troubled, I prefer to actually go and talk to that person, and in case if that's not possible, I choose to write down. So everyone has their own ways of coping, and everyone has their own time to take to recover from a particular problem. So say for example, if I lost my parent and you have also, so in that case, it's not necessary just because I got over something really quick, it doesn't mean you will also get over it real quick. So everyone has their own pace of time, own pace of adjusting, own pace of being the way they want to be, and own way of coming out of a situation. So hence, when we talk about mental health also, it's not one for all. It's different for each individual, it's different for each person who comes to us and we talk about it. But also, very importantly, how much do we go to a doctor for, say, if I got a cough right now, I would go and see a doctor. If I got, say, a injury on my right hand, so I would probably go to see a doctor. But at the same time, if we are mentally disturbed, something is so heavy on our head and our hearts, we are not ready to seek out for help. The stigma that is attached to mental health is what stops, because people tend to, I have some clients who tell me that please don't share it with anyone that I come to you for mental health. The embarrassment, the shame, that guilt is attached to it is not attached to the physical health world, but it's so attached to mental health world. But I would love to tell you all that people are opening up to this field. They are realizing the importance, that how stability is required here and how this stability is related to your body stability as well. So I'm going to go ahead with what I planned for you. Is when we talk about relationship between workplace and mental health, when I was thinking about this topic and how you're working at home and how I am also working at home lately, it's just like wearing anything down and being presentable till here, right? Today I'm dressed, okay? So here, when we talk about relationship between workplace and mental health, it's so important to understand, if we are not stable over here, we won't be able to give our best at our work, and our work is something where our growth is related. So unless you're not stable, happy, calm, relaxed over here, you might be giving your 80%. But if you are stable, calm over here, you will be able to give that 10 to 20% more, which will help you to grow further ahead. Now, what we see is, of course, the mental health awareness is growing, like I said. But what makes you a person who is very good at his work, when you are able to be not stress free, everyone goes through stress, when you are able to handle the particular stress that's coming to you. So we have found that 71% experience stress at work in last 12 months, the specific months that we're talking about, given COVID and before that as well. 71% of them do experience stress and are not able to handle well. 11% have thoughts and feelings of suicide at work because of the kind of pressure, not able to perform at times, the kind of interactions we have with our subordinates or the managers could make us feel lot of things. And 11% of the population has felt that I don't want this life anymore. 73% of those with mental issues said it affected their work, taking time of work, quality of work, relationship with colleagues. So when they had mental issues, people are not able to focus on their work, but at the same time not able to focus relationship with colleagues, and extended that relationship even at home becomes difficult because you're not happy in your workplace. So everything is interrelated to each other, and that's why it is so important to take care of your mental health. If you are mentally able to be strong, you will be able to be that productive at your workplace. Now, so here I thought to explain you the power of thoughts. I thought of, because so when I think of dogs, okay, before I go with an example, let's see how a thought, I create a thought in my head. Okay, let it be positive or negative. I have a certain feeling regarding that thought, in line with that thought, and that feeling will be followed by a certain behavior. Now, let us understand this with an easier example. Say I have a thought that I love this dog. The dog that I'm seeing from a distance, this dog is so cute. So imagine that being in front of you. So your thought might be, oh, it's so cute. Oh, it's so nice. I love this dog. Now, what is your feeling in that time? You might feel happy, you might be excited, you might be like, I want to go and touch it. So the feeling is like, I want to do it. You're curious, you want to feel it. So what is your behavior in line with it? You might go and pat the dog. So see how one thought that I had, that is, I love this dog, has led to a feeling that I feel happy. And this has in turn led to a feeling that I want to go, that in line with the feeling that I will go and touch the dog or pat the dog. Now let's take the scenario 2. Say my thought is I hate dogs. Okay, I say, imagine I'm saying, dogs are so licky and they are so scary, they can bite you. I hate this dog. Okay, I go like that. My feeling would be that I feel scared. I would be like, oh, what should I do? What should I do? I might start panicking. I might start worrying. So that's my feeling. And that might lead to my behavior of running away from the dog. So again, see how I had a positive thought of I love this dog had led to my behavior of patting the dog. But at the same time, if I hate the dog, I would start feeling scared, and that has led to my behavior wherein I run away from the dog. Now, why this example is important is take in workplace. For example, you hate working with your colleague. So your thought is, oh my God, why am I with this person? I hate this. I don't like this. And your feeling is a lot of anger, hatred, disappointment. And after that, your behavior would be you will try to do as less work as possible. You'll try to be aloof from them. So see how one thought that we have created has led to a certain feeling. That certain feeling has led to certain behavior. Now, taking the example at home also, oh my God, so much work, this is so annoying, I hate this. Because sometimes we tend to not plan our day. And you're like, oh my God, there's a lot of work, what to do, how to do. And the thought is very like, I don't know how to manage everything. And a feeling is anxiousness, the worriness that comes, कि मैं कैसे करूँगी, oh my God. And the behavior will be probably, you'll be irritated, angry with people around. So what thoughts you create will lead to certain feelings, and what feelings you have will lead to certain behaviors. Please feel free to ask any question at this point before I move on to the next topic. This was power of thoughts. So what you create for yourself or what you create for the person in front of you will lead to certain feeling, and it will also lead to a certain behavior. Okay. So now, when I was talking about how to overcome negative thinking, now when we talk about these things, people might tell you a lot of things that, just sit and, close your eyes and don't do anything about it, let it go, or just breathe in, breathe out. So these are the techniques that has worked for many, but I would today talk about a technique that has worked for me and my clients as well. So the first one is identifying the negative thought. The first exercise that we did where there was a thought, feeling and behavior, at times we just go like, I'm so irritated, I don't know why. Because the first step, that is the identification of negative thought, has not taken place. So first step is to identify what negative thought you have regarding the present situation that you are in. Now, these negative thoughts can be towards self as well as the person in front of you. So first is identifying that negative thought that you are holding on to. After that is acknowledging thoughts. So many times as children we are told, "Arey, it's okay. ठीक हो जाएगा, सब ठीक हो जाएगा." Boys don't cry, girls cry. It's okay for a boy to show he's manly and not show his true feelings. It's okay for a girl to keep crying and not tell everything about the family. Don't talk about the family. Don't ruin the reputation. So all these things are taking you away from acknowledging the thoughts that you're holding on to. Science has shown, researchers have shown, once you acknowledge these thoughts, there is more space for being more free about that particular situation. Once the person acknowledges what he or she thinks, will allow the person to see the next step after that. People feel stuck. They're like, I don't know, मेरे को बहुत stuck feel हो रहा है, मेरे को आगे बढ़ने नहीं हो रहा है, मेरे को लग रहा है कुछ. It's because of there's no acknowledgement of certain thoughts that you have been holding for months, years, or even decades. So it's very important is to first is identifying what is that negative thought I have with that person or that office, that organization, or myself. Once you identify this, it's okay. As humans, we all have negative thoughts. We all get, and it's something that happens automatically. Something that we have been doing from so long. So it's a very common thing to get into that scenario wherein we do think negative. That's nothing wrong about it. So very importantly is acknowledging. So how do you acknowledge? You may simply write it down that this is what I'm having and accepting. Okay, I had a negative thought. which is very human of you to feel. So writing it down or talking to someone you trust, where you acknowledge, I have felt this. So that that person you believe in, that will trust you, that, I won't tell anyone. You think that person will keep it to themselves. You feel safe around them. Go talk to them. Acknowledge that I have been thinking about this person, organization, or myself negatively all this while. And hence, this negative thought has led to a certain feeling. The feeling has led to a certain behavior. After acknowledging the thought, it comes the techniques which I'm going to talk about too. First is thought stopping technique, which is famously used by many and it has worked out for many. Now, thought stopping is where, say, the negative thought is coming, you simply go like, stop, Rishmita. This is not how it's supposed to go. You are not that kind of a person. You need to constantly remind yourself, or for example, no, this is not true. I say this because thoughts, we think we are our thoughts. But imagine that these thoughts now, say something bad happens within your friend circle. Okay, you might start hating them at this point. But if you were with them, say 10 years ago, you had an amazing time with them, you would be like, these are the best people. Can you see that there is a positive thought that was there 10 years ago? There's a negative thought right now. And at times, if you notice, if my mother comes to me and she says, "Arey, why you're not doing this?" or my husband goes like, "Arey, why you're not?" I'm like, "Kya hai yaar? Itna kyun bol raha hai?" And that's the thought I have. And next moment, say my husband comes and hugs me and he tells, "You are the best." I'm like, "Oh, that's so sweet. You are the best." So my thought immediately changed that he's good. Can you see that sometimes we go like, he is bad, and suddenly I change my thought and say he is good. Now these thoughts are so momentarily. They change every moment. Your thoughts are not reality. Your thoughts are there. That is real, but it is not necessary that's how it's going to be for long. It's like, for example, you can think of it as a lot of cars passing by as you're just sitting by and watching. Thoughts are like that. They're just passing, like, that's why you say thoughts are passing clouds. That basically means that they're passing away with time. Now, it is your choice whether you hold on to it or you're letting it go. And holding on will lead to a certain feeling, will lead to a certain behavior. And sometimes you're like, मेरे को पता नहीं, मेरे को इसके साथ बहुत irritation feel होता है. That's because you have not identified that kind of negative thought you're holding on to. You're not acknowledging what has happened. And after, when we say acknowledge, also means accepting, ठीक है यार, है negative thought. You did feel bad at a point, and you did feel bad. So hence that feeling is still there. That's why you're behaving like that. But sometimes you're not even aware that we are doing this with people. We are not even aware that we are doing to ourselves. So if I go like, I'm so dumb, I'm not worth it. This is all self-talk and self-damaging negative thoughts. And we just hold on. अरे एक बार हुआ था ना, मैं फेल हुआ था ना, इसलिए मैं failure ही हूँ यार मैथ्स में. We come to a conclusion. And that becomes our reality. But in real, if you process this information, that your thoughts are nothing but something that's passing with moment, with time. It's not something that's going to be there unless you hold on to it forever. So the first technique is thought stopping, where you tell yourself, you constantly remind yourself, stop it. This is not true. This is not the way it is supposed to go. Now, this has worked for many, but honestly, for me, what has really worked is a technique that I think has worked for me and my clients is letting go. A repetition when the negative thoughts come. I continuously and persistently keep saying, I'm letting this thought go. I'm letting this thought go. I'm letting it go. Let it pass on. This is not reality. I'm letting it go now. I'm letting it go. So again, repetition is also a way to remind myself what has not gone right. And also to remember that it's okay to think negative, but not to get attached with the idea that this negative thought is what is true. It's the idea of letting go. It's the idea of being okay with the fact that I am human, I am allowed to feel this. But this is not the reality always. Our thoughts are not necessarily the reality that you're seeing it as. Now, if I'm thinking that this person, say I met Prashant for the first time, oh God, why is he like this? Why is he talking like that? These thoughts are something that is not who Prashant is really. He might be a completely different person, but we humans are used to jumping to conclusions, to making judgments so quickly that we don't even want to take the pressure of giving that person a benefit of doubt or a chance to be themselves. I hardly know Prashant for the last, I think, 20 minutes. And if I pass a judgment, that thought is nothing but where I'm having it here. It's not a reality. So this is one of the techniques to overcome negativity. Very important is identifying that negative thought. Next is acknowledging and accepting the thought that I have this thought and it's okay. And now I'm going to work on it. One is thought stopping, and the other, which worked for me, was letting go. I keep repeating to myself, letting go. Now, a lot of times people come and tell me that it's not working out, yaar, nahi ho raha, mujhse nahi ho raha, pata nahi kya hai, I'm not understanding. Okay, so here what you need is patience. Now, there's a pile that you have created of negative thinking for, say, 20 years with someone, some organization, people, or yourself. It will take time for you to break that pile and clear it out from your system. It is a matter of time and practice. People do go impatient, which is there. I'm also impatient, but also to bring a reality check that we need to make sure that we are able to calm ourselves and tell, I need time. And this is something which will come with time. Now, this is a beautiful exercise which I do a lot, okay, with all my clients to make them understand how things do not go according to our wish all the time, and what is the reason that we feel so powerless in front of people at times in certain situations. Now, to start with, for example, if I ask you, okay, who decided what you are wearing today at this particular webinar? Who decided what you wore? I'm sure it's something you decided for yourself. So that's something that is in your control. But at the same time, if I had to call up and say to Prashant that, wear only a black and white striped shirt because we should look like a team. He'll be like, I don't have that. I'll be like, go and buy it and come so that we look like a team. Now you'll be like, कौन है ये यार? कहाँ से आई है? Now that is something that's not in control. Then I'll be like, अरे प्रशांत तो सुन ही नहीं रहा है मेरा बात यार. I don't want to work with him. I don't know why am I even doing this. So when we start focusing on things that are not in our control, that's the time we feel angry. We feel like hitting people. Why do people get abusive with each other? Or verbal abuse? Why we start using bad words towards someone? Because we feel we cannot control them. And we feel, अरे होता ही नहीं है यार, मेरे को अच्छा ही नहीं लग रहा. Say your kid is not listening to you. And in that case, you start hitting them. Because you feel you have the right to control them, and when they are out of control, you feel powerless. Like, sunta hi nahi hai yaar. Now, what we need to start practicing is what is in our control. The ones that is inside the face, whatever is written, that is my efforts, the words I use. Now, for example, sitting in this webinar, what word, what language I use, what I tell you, what I share, everything is in my control. And suddenly, if my maid comes and she starts making noise and starts talking to me, and I yell at her and I'm like, what is wrong with you? You don't even understand this. And probably she'll be like, I don't want to work here and stuff like that. So now I am getting angry because she is not in my control and she does not have that understanding. Or for a greater understanding, I should have conveyed it to her beforehand yesterday that I am going to be busy at this particular time and please do not make noise at this certain time. So what is in your control is what choices you make in life. Are you choosing to be angry with someone? Are you choosing to let go of that person made a mistake? Are you choosing to keep certain people in your life? Are you choosing to let go of toxic people in your life? What is in your control? Now, simply when the child, so when I take classes, a lot of times children just shut their videos because पीछे ना बहुत लोग आते हैं and they are embarrassed or whatever is their reason. They don't want their friends to know that their family members are roaming like that. So what happens is they start getting irritated, they're distracted. I just tell them one thing: what's in your control at this point? Your control right now is to listen to me and pay attention in the class. So focus on what's in your control. At the same time, let's talk about what's not in my control, other people's thought. For example, when I entered and say Prashant would be like, how is she talking? I only know Prashant here, that's why I'm taking his name a lot. But other people's thoughts, what thoughts I have, is something that is not in my control. Okay, they might think a lot of things about me today. At the end of the seminar, a lot of people will be like, acha tha. Some people will be like, theek tha. Some people will be like, waste ho gaya time. So now these thoughts are something I cannot control. And if I read in the comment and people say on my page or something, they write, she's not good, she's not worth it. Now these people are not in my control. And if I start bothering about people who are not in my control or things that are not in my control, I will feel powerless. Now, say my husband comes and tells me something in anger, and he didn't mean it, but in anger, he said a lot of things. And I go like, what is wrong with it? And I say, मैं घर छोड़ के जा रही हूँ. Again, घर छोड़ के जाना is in my control, of course. But what words he uses, that's not reality. Because that's not in my control. That's his choice, what he thinks about me. Now, what words other people tell about me? अरे अच्छी है, नहीं छोटी है, नहीं दांत ठीक नहीं है, नाक ठीक नहीं है, हाथ ठीक नहीं है. All that something about society that they talk is something that's not in my control. This lockdown was something that was not in my control. Now, why are we focusing on something that is not in our control rather than focusing on so many things that are in my control? My control is who I want to be around, what work I want to do, what job I want to do, what I want to believe in, what I don't want to believe in, what my body is like, accepting my body, loving my body the way it is, what words I'm choosing, how I treat others. Am I treating others with respect or with disrespect? It's a choice. Now, people respecting me or not, that's their choice. That's in their control. It's not going to be in my control. And trust me, this exercise you can apply anywhere and everywhere in your life. If you are finding yourself irritated, angry, it's because you feel this particular thing is not in my control. And you simply have to ask yourself, is this in my control? Can I think of a better way of dealing with this? So when you do that, you start feeling more powerful. The more you focus on the things that you can control, you will feel powerful. The more you think I can control things that are not in my control. So many people go like, अरे मैं कितने height में छोटी हूँ यार, मेरा skin color कितना खराब है. Now this is not in your control. It's genetic, it's environmental, it's not something that you can do. And it's not even your fault, or it's not even something you should be guilty about, because that's how you are. And that's what makes you unique. But we are busy crying about how our height is not good, how our skin color is not good. I always tell my counselors, if you see the world from someone else's eyes, you will feel you'll have so much more than them. Today we are sitting at home, we are sitting in front of a laptop or a mobile and able to hear each other, communicate each other. People don't have jobs, people don't have things to talk about, people don't have family, people are socially isolated. But we are busy looking at things that are not in our control. And we feel angry, irritated, powerless. But how to feel powerful is by focusing on things what is in your control. Your manager or your boss comes and tells you something. What words you choose is again something in your control. Do you still choose to be there, wanting to be there, or working hard, your behavior, your thoughts? That's again you. It's all you. So why are we making ourselves feel powerless when we have the power to make ourselves powerful? I hope this is clear. Anyone has doubts, please go ahead and ask, because this is such a beautiful exercise which I apply everywhere in my life. Now, for a simple example, me and my husband staying in this house, he is not someone who will always be like keeping his clothes right, or the typical ones, right? He's very okay with, keeping it anywhere, wherever he finds okay, because it's his house. He likes to keep it that way and he likes the freedom. Now, if I start going behind him and telling him, "Arey, kyun kar raha hai, kyun kar raha hai? What is wrong with you? Kuch rakhne nahi hota hai." If it bothers me, and the control that I have is to pick it up and put it, is something that will keep me calm, because I have told myself that I cannot control him. I cannot keep telling him what he needs to do, because his behavior, his thoughts, his words, his choices are not in my control. But what is in my control is my thoughts, is my words, is my behavior. My behavior I'm choosing, because I like to keep a clean house. I make sure that at a particular time I clean the house one time at one go. And there is an unsaid rule that after this you cannot mess around. That I've cleaned it, because he sees the efforts I put. So what is in my control is what I want to focus on. And if it really bothers me, I am going to communicate to him, see, look, and I'm not going to get angry. I'm going to tell him calmly that, look, this is not something that is working out. I like a clean house, and I would really appreciate if you help me to do the same. What is missing in relationships, let it be in your office, let it be at home, is communicating, which is not a very Indian culture. We just take things for granted. We just think it's okay. Arey, it's okay someone cooks food. It's okay someone cleans the house. It's not. We're not realizing how much importance we are supposed to give to the person who is helping us out, and how much gratitude we should feel about ourselves, our body, and at the same time the people who are around us. Seeing from other people's eyes, you will be way grateful about your life, rather than being very whining about what's not going right. Focus on what is in your control. Focus on what is something that is going right in your life, rather than focusing on something that is not even going right for you at all. कुछ तो होगा जो अच्छा हो रहा है. Focus on that. That will help you to feel powerful. When I'm thinking, "Arey, life में कुछ अच्छा ही नहीं हो रहा," how's my energy? Like, I'm sitting like this. Now, at the same time, if I say my life is beautiful, I just enjoy the way it has been. It was a roller coaster. There were a lot of ups and downs. There are a lot of things that have happened in the past. But it was a roller coaster. But today, when I look back, everything looks beautiful. So focus on what's in your control. Focus on what's working out, what's positive for you in your life to feel more powerful at the end of the day. Okay. Now, moving on to one thing that I thought is very important, like I said, किसी और के आंखों से देखोगे तो अच्छा लगता है, is the idea of gratitude. Now, if you have heard about law of attraction, it is based on this theory that be grateful for really minor things in your life. I could be grateful for even be able to write a paper today, able to do that. I'm grateful for having this seminar with you. I'm grateful for sipping water. I'm grateful for having a mobile phone to be able to communicate. I'm grateful to have this laptop. Now, science, whatever is written as benefits is something that's proven by science. It improves your physical health. It improves your sleep. It improves your mental health, that is psychological health. It increases empathy. When we say empathy, you start feeling what others are feeling. So the idea is to be in someone else's shoe. That's what is empathy. So you're able to be empathetic. Your aggression will reduce. You'll stop feeling that angry. There'll be more social connection because you're always grateful that these people are around you. It enhances your self-esteem. Self-esteem could be thought of self-confidence. And you all know how important is being confident. So if you feel you're low on confidence, practice gratitude. Improves mental strength. It makes you stronger over here. Because when you say thank you, you are actually making a positive note in your brain. And every time a thankful thought goes, your brain emits certain chemicals which allows for a better physical health, a better mental health, good sleep, reduce aggression. So enjoy very little things in your life. because one day you'll look back and see how big these things were. Now, if I see my one day, I'm like grateful for this one particular food. But if I see my past 27 years, that the amount of food I'm blessed with, God has been grateful to give me food every day. There's not one single day I said I didn't have food. There's no one single day I can say I didn't get water. So you need to find out what is that thing you're grateful for, even the minutest thing. Now, if everyone allows, I would actually like everyone to close your eyes. Okay, I would like to go through a process for you all to make you realize that how important it is. Just is there a way that participants can tell me thumbs up or something so I know I can move on and everyone is up for it?
Yes, the participants can raise the hand. So if you're hearing, there you go. You can just click on raise hand icon. So Rishita knows that you all are listening. There you go. You got the hands coming up.
Ah, great. Okay, thank you everyone. So what we do is I'm going to put my video off so that I don't act as a distractor to you. Okay, but my audio will be on. All right, so just relax yourself and I'll be playing a background music. So put your hands, remove all the metal, any watch in your hand. Keep your mobile aside or laptop aside. Place your hand on the knees and make sure that your feet is touching the ground. Close your eyes. Take a deep breath in and slowly breathe out. Take a deep breath in. Hold. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Breathe out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Take a deep breath in again and slowly breathe out. Now, I want you to focus on your breathing, and whenever your mind wanders, you can simply breathe in and slowly breathe out. Now, I want you to think of a staircase in front of you, and we are going to go down 10 steps. And on the 10th step, you will find yourself in a valley. Imagine a staircase in front of you. 1, step 2, step 3, step 4, step 5, step 6, step 7, step 8, step 9, and step 10. You have entered a beautiful valley, a valley full of greenery, birds chirping, flying around, colorful flowers. Some are yellow, some are white, some are pink, and some are blue. As you raise your head, you notice a clear blue sky. See yourself enjoying the beauty of nature, the sound of the river. Just be there and feel. How do you feel at this moment? Take a deep breath in. Take in all the breeze that's coming to you and breathe out all the negative energy through your system. Now, imagine yourself in front of a lake that is golden in color. This lake is very powerful. It's full of positive energy. I want you to imagine yourself going inside this powerful golden lake. Now, as you go down inside the lake, as you put yourself inside the water of the powerful golden lake, see how each part of your body is being filled with power and positivity, starting from your head, moving through your body, your hands and legs. You may also imagine yourself drinking this golden water, going inside your throat, your body, your private parts, your buttocks, your legs, toes, your hands, elbow, and your fingers. Think of how you feel being in this golden lake. Now, I want you to slowly step out of this golden lake. You are an enlightened, enriched person, full of power, strength, and positivity. I want you to silently repeat in your mind, I am happy. I deserve happiness. Now, whenever you are ready, you may slowly come out of this meditation by walking towards the staircase. Again, we will be taking 10 steps to come back. Step 10, step 9, step 8, step 7, step 6, step 5, step 4, step 3, step 2, and step 1. Slowly return to your body. Slowly return to your body now. Move your hands, fingers, and your legs. Take a deep breath in and slowly breathe out. And whenever you are ready, you may open your eyes. I hope everyone is back.
Yes, it feels very refreshing, in fact.
I'm so glad. I'm so glad. Yeah, Aditya, sure. you can get in touch. I would love to gift a free meditation which you can practice. It would be similar. Now this one is called a guided meditation. So it's specifically for when we are not able to just close our eyes simply and focus for say 20 minutes because our mind keeps wandering. So a guided meditation will allow you to relax yourself and calm yourself. So if you have the time every day, I would encourage, even if you don't have 20 minutes, it's okay, just simply when you get up in the morning, have a bath and just close your eyes for even 3 minutes. Let the thoughts come. And when your mind is wandering, make sure you take a deep breath in and slowly breathe out. So when you constantly do that, you're making yourself come back in present. So what happens is our mind keeps wandering in the past and keeps running to future. And we forget to live in the present. The idea of meditation is to make you feel relaxed, of course, but also to make you start living in the present, so that you have an idea that we need to start living in present, so that we are not bothered about something we cannot control, that's our past, and again not worry about future, that's not in our control. We are focusing on present. And I would love that you are able to adapt that. Only 3 minutes every day, give that much time to yourself. You will feel much relaxed and calm in your day. All right. Now, one more thing that I'm a super believer of is writing. Okay. So sometimes there are certain things, we can't tell our own spouse because, say, something is going on about my father, and, I can't tell my husband because I don't want my husband to judge my father. So maybe, or I don't want my husband to worry about something that he would be worried if I tell him. So in those cases, what really has helped me throughout, I must have been writing for good 15 years, and it has brought so much of clarity for me in life. There's so much of venting needed. Sometimes we don't know who to tell. We are scared of judgments. We are scared. Of course, we are scared. Of course, we are worried if they go and tell someone, if they misunderstand. So one of the beautiful ways is, if you're bothered, troubled, just take a book and start writing. And at times when I'm not there's so much of anger and irritation, I don't feel like writing also, I simply start drawing or scribbling or just scratching the paper or doing something with writing, because that way my energy of negativity is getting vented out. But other benefits of writing is it increases self awareness. The only way, and not, I won't say the only way, the way to get to the top of what you need to be, that is that growth that you're looking for, is when you're really self aware in this journey of life. You should be the one who knows the best of yourself. What triggers you, what makes you happy, what are you grateful for, what is that one childhood memory that bothered you and you're able to get over it now, what is that one mistake you're not able to forgive yourself, and now, are you choosing to let it go or not? Self awareness. Why are we angry with ourselves? Why are we hating this part of our body? Why are we hating this society? Everything will be increased once you start writing. Because there's so much of going on in this brain. Itna information hai, itna storage hai, so much of confusion. Sometimes you go like, pata nahi, life mein confused hi rehti hu. If for people who think they are very confused, writing is one of the beautiful habits that you can build. Kuch nahi hua to bhi every night just take 5 minutes to write what are the things that made you happy in the day. What is that something that you're grateful about? So, and the benefit of writing is the next is safe space to vent. It's such a safe space. You don't have to go and tell. It's like you're talking to a friend. When you start writing, you feel like, you're talking to someone and you're venting it out. But the good part is, this is your space, this is your privacy. Your creativity will increase. If you are in a field where creativity is, and trust me, creativity is everywhere, and that increases when you start writing. Being mindful is nothing, the word mindful is nothing but being in the present, living the present moment. Everyone is struggling for happiness. Why is that happiness not there? Is because you're focusing on the past or the future and not the present. So it's so important to be right now, be present in this moment. So that is being mindful, which is brought by writing. Then there is clarity. Like I said, if you're someone who's very confused, समझ में नहीं आ रहा चीजें, ऐसा होता है, and nothing wrong about it. But you can do something about it is writing. Writing and closing your eyes for 3 minutes daily will bring so much of clarity in your life. Reducing anxiety. It reduces your anxiety because you got a chance to vent. It reduces stress because the venting has been done. Acknowledgement that I was telling about of those feelings, those negative feelings that you've been holding on for years, is finally out in a book, in a writing. And if you're worried that someone will read it, tear it out because the venting has been done. So I always say keep a positive journal where you write about things you are grateful for, good, happy, and all that. But when the ones you're talking about negative, tear it down for sure. Because we don't want to read it later in the future and have that impacted on us. So make sure you tear it down or burn it down, whatever suits you, whatever helps you heal. Learning from the past. I say it's people ask me how to forgive myself. So if you find it really easy to forgive your loved ones, what about this person who really loves you? What about this person, this body, this brain, this heart, which has always been with you? You're so harsh to yourself. You're ready to forgive people who are around you, your loved ones, your children, your husband, your wife. You're ready to let them go, but you're not ready to forgive yourself. Mistakes happen. But if you don't learn from the mistake, then that's a mistake again. But if you're learning from the past, and one of the most important is letting go and forgiving yourself, and that is also brought by writing and meditation. Enhancing relationship, it helps you to build stronger bonds with people around because your venting is done. You're not holding on to things regarding people, and that will enhance your relationship. So I have listed down certain things you can otherwise also write in your journal or your notebook. What makes you unique? Write a body letter thanking for all it does for you. So try not to do negative about. हम कहते हैं ना अरे कितनी मोटी हो गई ये ठीक नहीं है यार मेरे बॉडी में ये ठीक नहीं है. But what about the body parts that are working well for you? How do you want to be remembered? What do you need to do in order to be remembered this way? What is your goal of life? Make a list of things you want to do before next year ends. Make a list of your best character traits. Make a list of your accomplishments. What are you really good at? How would your best friend describe you? What are the words people will say at your when you die? What do you want to people to talk about you? What is that? What is the goal in your life? Who is your role model? What would with your time if money were no object? So what would you do? Sorry, my English mistake. What would you do with your time if you had no problem with money? What is that one hobby that you would pick up? My favorite way to spend. What would you tell your teenage self? So a lot of things happen when we are teenagers. So how much of acknowledgement has been done for that? Also very important, given this lockdown, there is no what I believe, what I see it for myself, there are my bosses or my colleagues call any time of the time and they think it's okay to call, it's okay to text, it's okay to tell work anytime, but it's very important to set boundaries for yourself. So I have a rule that I start work at 9 in the morning, I end in the 9 in the evening. So I make sure after that I do not attend to calls. Sundays is something that I do not work at all. So that's the boundary that I've kept for myself. That this is the thing that works for me, and no one can enter that particular bubble of mine. So it's very important to set boundaries for yourself. Yeah, I hope this all benefited. Something must have benefited each one of y'all, and with the hope of that, I'm ending. And any question, please go ahead with asking. I would love to answer them at the best.
Thank you so much, Rishita. This was, I think, a lovely session. It was completely unexpected, but I think it was very, very refreshing. At least I felt so. I feel so charged right now, and I'm sure our participants too. So we're gonna keep this forum open. Y'all can unmute yourself if y'all can, or if you want to ask us questions, we are here. Rishita will be able to answer those questions. So go ahead. We'll be here for another couple of minutes till we have everyone with us. Y'all can raise hands also in case if y'all want out there. So just a reminder, the questions are in the Q&A section. So we've got Aditya asking some couple of questions. Okay. It would be nice to get a recording of the meditation session we just had. It was wonderful to forget everything for a few minutes. Yes, indeed. I think it's lovely to always disconnect.
Yeah. But also you will connect to yourself when you're back if that's a practice you indulge yourself into, Aditya. Yeah, and thank you for sharing, Aditya, so much. I think you can get in touch with the team and they'll let you know how you can get the recording. I will send it across for sure. Yeah, I think people
All
don't
right,
have
going once. I think everyone is supercharged, so they are already on a break mode now. It's Friday.
I know, right? Okay, anyway,
All
whenever,
right, so
thank you so much again. This was such a pleasure to be with everyone. And I would just like to end by saying it's so important to take care of yourself. We at times forget ourselves in the hurry of life. So I think every day, if you're able to give that 10 minutes, 20 minutes to yourself where you do meditate for 3 minutes, where you are able to write something related to the day or something that makes you happy. And the third thing is to count your blessings daily. What is that made you lucky? It could be a repetitive that, I'm grateful to have this person in my life every day. Even if you say that, your brain is taking on being positive, and your brain is super flexible. What you feed is what is going to reflect in your life. So I think give 20 minutes to your life, and I think everyone is going towards growth after that. And thank you so much, Prashant and Surbi, for giving this opportunity. I had real fun. Yeah.
Rishmita, there's one
Yeah.
more question. Somebody is asking from the attendance, how can I approach people for a conversation?
Okay, so when we say how can I approach for a conversation, it's something that is being stopping you from doing that. So one thing is identifying what is that reason or what is that thought that is coming, that if say you're going for a conversation with someone, what is that thought that is coming? Is it like what will people think? How will they say? Now again, remember the circle of control in such thoughts. Now these people, what they think about you is not something that's in your control, and that's why you are stopping yourself, because you think those people will judge you or how will it go. Until we don't do a reality check, and it's okay if you go wrong with the conversation, it's okay if you are wrong at some point, because no one is right all the time. I have made mistakes, but that does not mean, now for a webinar also, you don't know maybe, but I have made mistakes for all I know. But you may not know, with the fear that, oh no, how will I speak in front of strangers? How will I tell people? How will I talk to them? What will they think about me? I am just focusing on powerlessness. But at the same time, I say, okay, I'm a human. I'm allowed to make mistakes. I'm letting go of this negative thought. Okay, so the next thing that the person asks is that, okay, I get stressed if work is not finished. I don't know how to fix this. One of the things that I do is every night before I sleep, I write down what's my next day task, what are the things I have to do. That brings a sort of clarity in me how I'm supposed to go. All right. And there's one more person asking about thoughts of death. Again, these thoughts of death, if they are something that's repetitive, you need to look at things that are causing you to think in a particular way. That why are you feeling, why are these thoughts coming again and again in your life? What are these thoughts getting, or why are they coming to you? What has happened in life that is not dealt yet? What is that you have not confronted or acknowledged? And if these thoughts are persistent and something that is not going away easily, I would really suggest go for someone who will help you come out of this thought process. Yeah. And you might be liking to seek for help at this point.
all right, I
Rishmita,
think, yeah,
uh,
Manthan, go ahead. Sorry.
yeah, Rishmita, I received one message. Someone from our audience, she wanted to ask something and she did not able to type fastly. So she wanted to ask me to you, she is like a psychologist only, and she is going to start her practice. but she doesn't know that how to and in what direction she should start. I mean, like should she focus on social media more? I mean, to start with Instagram page or something, or how should she approach people?
So, if she's starting afresh, if you're someone who's starting afresh, I would suggest first is getting some kind of work experience. This work is highly comes with time and comes with experience. So, I would suggest get yourself interned or work under someone or some organization which will help you to bring a clarity on how to deal, because clients will be of different problems. So if you see right now also we have different questions from different individuals. So you will be dealing with different individuals at a time. So I would suggest, if you're starting off, a great place to start is schools where you're exposed to children. It's a great way of learning as well. So I think if I were you, I would have done that, and I have done that. So yeah, that's how I have been. Yeah.
All right. Thank you very much, Rishita. I think it's been a lovely, lovely session. And if you could share your details, Manthan, if you could put her details on the screen, should anybody from the audience would want to get in touch with her for any kind of a counseling, or if they know any friends who would like to have some professional guidance, I think Rishita would be more than happy to guide them.
Sure,
So,
for sure.
so Rishita, if you want, you could probably share your email ID or your number with the audience. Manthan,
Yeah.
do you have it? You could probably put it up.
Yeah, I'm comfortable with the email ID.
Perfect.
So
If you
yeah,
could just
so
type it in the chat.
yeah. I don't know if everyone could see it, but I can only type to one at this point.
Okay. Manthan, can you just ensure that everybody gets this message?
The
Yes.
one that you sent the mail on, I think.
Yeah, I'm just typing it on question answer round so everybody can see.
Yeah. And for the meditation recording, just mail me that you need it. I will send it across to you.
Okay, that would be lovely.
Yeah.
All right. So thank you everyone who's joined us on this wonderful Friday afternoon, and thank you Rishita for taking time out with all the audience and all of us. I think we all have learned something new, something different, and we probably got digressed with our day-to-day work life. We're getting burnouts while working at home, and as you rightly said, I think ever since March has happened, I think pretty much people who are working from home, they are like 9 to 9. So am I. And I
Yeah,
think
yeah.
I'm going to disconnect, and I'm also going to probably start that 5 minute thing. So I think it's been a lovely refresher for me too. And thank you very much. And we wish you all the very best. Hopefully, you get more clients and that 500 becomes 5 lakh and more than that.
Hopefully. Thank you so much, Prajan. Thank you, Manthan. Thank you, Surbhi. I will see you all. Thank
Our
you.
pleasure. Thank you everyone for joining in till our next series for Rap Talks. Have a wonderful Friday. Stay home, stay safe. Bye bye.